There was an operation today as Jalen Hurts was surgical during training camp. The question, though, is this. If Devontae Smith isn't there to catch the ball, who will? Dallas still stinks. You by the way, I can't think back here, so you know what they're saying? They're saying Jalen Hurts was surgical today at practice. Just slicing flesh left and right, just out there with his arm making plays, and that's a great sign. And there's a lot of things on this offense that I think are trending up for the Eagles and for us to be excited about. First and foremost, okay, even though Sean Mannion has yet to call a play as an offensive coordinator, what we're hearing from the quality of how this offense looks at training camp and what they're doing is night and day different than what we got with Kevin Patullo. Also, it's very clear that the players buy into what Mannion's doing. They didn't with Patullo, and that's really a big, big deal, okay? Jalen Hurts is getting better and better each day as he's getting comfortable with this offense. He obviously came in tremendous shape. They're saying he looks 2-3 steps quicker than he did the last few years. But I think there is a legit question that is being asked, and it's being thought about because Devontae Smith has missed the last few days of practice. If Devontae Smith is not able to go for some reason, who's gonna step up? Who on this team, receiver-wise, is going to step up? We're still trying to find out who the number 2 receiver is in general, but who would do it? You know, it's a legit, fair question. But as I said, there's a lot to be excited about with this offense. But we got to face the facts that they may not be done dealing with the wide receiver position. And it's something to think about, okay? Now, here is today's injury report. John McMullen wrote this. Eagles Wednesday practice report. Will not practice. Britton Covey, hamstring. Landon Dickerson, rest. Keyshawn James Newby, ankle. Lane Johnson, excuse, not injury related. Makai Lemon, hamstring. Devontae Smith, hamstring. Cole Wisniewski, hamstring. We've got a hamstring issue. Okay? Somebody stretch out these guys' hamstrings. Limited. Micah Morris, shoulder, and Jaden Roberts both returned to practice. I'll also say this, as far as the offensive line goes, Markel Bell was taking first-team snaps at right tackle. That's very interesting that he's already getting some snaps over Fred Johnson. They must really like what they see, or they at least want to get a good look. And I think that's a great sign for the Eagles and Bell and drafting him. No doubt about it. And no doubt about that, no doubt about this too. PrizePicks is America's #1 sportsbook app. It is the best app to use while watching sports. Plus, the great thing about it, it is really easy to use. Just pick a few player stats and lock in your lineup and boom, you're ready to go. Or if you prefer, you can now do Team Picks. Now, Team Picks is great. It opens up a ton of options, including picking wins, spreads, all sorts of things, as I'm going to show you in a second. Plus, PrizePicks is available in almost all 50 states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Now, as I was saying, when you look at the team picks, they often have a bunch of different options to choose from. One of the ones that I want to touch on today is the stage of elimination for football teams this coming season, specifically the Cowboys. Why? Because this is, to me, easy guarantee, okay? This is easy. I have the Dallas Cowboys. I am taking them to not make the playoffs. That's right. I am taking the Cowboys to not make the playoffs. I'm locking in that lineup, and boom, it is ready to go. I love this play. I think this is a great guarantee. And if you like this or you want to do something similar, all you have to do is download the link in the description, download the app, and then use promo code HMA when you sign up. And if you play your first $5 lineup and you win, you'll get $150 in lineup credits. That's $150 in lineup credits. All you have to do is play your first $5 lineup and win. That's right. Just use promo code HMA. Link is in the description. Shout out to Prize Picks. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. We appreciate it so much. So as far as this practice went, it was fairly light. It lasted about 70, 75 minutes. They had a hour and 50 plus minute practice yesterday in full pads. So, of course, today was going to be a little lighter. That's why Landon Dickerson had a rest day today. But what we saw, I think, is the continuation of Jalen Hurts getting comfortable in this offense. The defense still clearly won the day, but Jalen Hurts had a pretty good day, even though he had some guys dropping some balls, especially my guy, Darius Cooper. Okay, Darius Cooper had an opportunity to make a great catch on a great, like they said, it was a great throw by Jalen Hurts, and he dropped it. One of the few times we've heard Darius Cooper drop anything so far in camp, But, it's an interesting, and shout out to everybody that was in my chat. The last few days, we've talked about this, like who is going to be that wide receiver to not only be the number 2 wide receiver, but who steps up if Devontae Smith can't go? We're seeing no Devontae, no Lemon, and we're looking and waiting and hoping for somebody to step up and be that guy. And that is going to be a question that we're going to find out if it gets answered or not. Now, here's what I'll say. Devontae Smith is an absolute stud. 1,000%. A lot of people are down on Mekhi Lemon because he's missed so much minicamp, and then he's missing now parts of training camp. I'm not there yet. I don't think there's reason to panic. There's nothing that he can't catch up on really, really quick. Okay, I think he's going to be a very good wide receiver. I think he's going to be a very good slot wide receiver. But it is frustrating that he can't go. But guys like Elijah Moore are getting the opportunities to basically take or win that job. And there's a lot of people who think Moore right now is better than Lemon, and that he will end up starting in the slot. I think if I had to rate the wide receivers, here's how I would rank it based on what we've heard from camp so far. Number 1, Devontae Smith, clear cut. Nobody's even close. Number 2, I would say Darius Cooper. If you look at just in terms of what you're seeing in production and him making an impact at practice and on the field, Darius Cooper. Every day, today was the first time I ever even mentioned that he had a drop. Like, he has been making plays every day at camp, okay? So he has been the second most productive guy as far as I'm concerned. And then 3 is Dontavian Wicks. Now, Wicks is a tremendous talent. He is ahead of Darius Cooper, obviously, on the depth charts. I'm not claiming that Cooper's ahead of Wicks in the depth chart. I'm just saying, based upon what we're hearing about these guys at camp, Darius Cooper has been the second most talked about wide receiver because he does something every day. Wicks has had really up and downs, like really amazing, great catches, very athletic, and then dropping balls that he needs to hold on to. But I think Wicks probably right now, if you had to look at it, he's your number 2 wide receiver. But I want him to take that job and run with it. I want somebody to step up and rise up and take that job and run with that number 2 wide receiver. And right now, I don't know that we have it. I think Darius Cooper should start getting looks and let him and Wicks battle at that wide receiver 2 spot. Question really is, if Devontae Smith is down for a few weeks or something, who's the receiver that's going to step up? It's a fair question. Now, a lot of people are saying we need to go out and get a wide receiver already. I think it's too early to say you need to go out and make a trade for a wide receiver. I think you got to give these guys time to try to, win that number 2 wide receiver spot. You think about last year when you had a Dory Jackson and Ringo battling for the cornerback spot, right? The Eagles gave them a few weeks. They wanted one of those guys to take the job and run with it. And neither of them could, which forced the Eagles to go out and get Jacorian Bennett. Now, the question is who's going to take that number 2 wide receiver spot? And right now, I don't think anybody has taken it and run with it. I think there's been flashes of Wicks, flashes of Darius Cooper, and I think Darius Cooper's probably rising on the depth chart, okay? Hollywood Brown, it's been kind of quiet when it comes to him. Moore has been okay as well. Moore would probably be my 4th guy if I had to rank the receivers that are making the biggest impact. However, I do think, and I can't remember who said it, so I apologize, but somebody said this the other day. They said the Eagles need to go out and maybe think about signing Keenan Allen. I actually think this may be a good idea. This may be a good idea, not something you have to do right this second, but, a few more weeks in the camp, maybe if nobody runs with it, maybe you contact Keenan Allen and bring him in. I mean, he's 34 years old. I know he's older, but he's still productive, and he still had a good year last year. He had 81 catches for 707 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's not bad for a guy his age, okay? So maybe he's somebody that you consider going out and getting. There's a lot of talk about Marvin Harrison Jr., and this is pure speculation now, because he's struggled in Arizona. There's reports that he's having a bad camp, dropping a lot of balls, and that there's frustration with the Cardinals and him and stuff like that. Hey, look, if the Eagles could go out and take a shot on him, yeah, I would take a shot on him. I wouldn't give up a first-round pick or anything crazy like that. But it's worth an opportunity. He's talented enough that a change of scenery may be what he needs. I do think the Eagles do need a number 2 wide receiver. They're in desperate need of a number 2 wide receiver. And as of right now, nobody has taken that role and run with it. However, it's not time to panic. I don't think you should go and sign Keenan Allen right now. I think you need to wait and give it time. But if you look maybe 2 weeks from now, if nobody has taken it and we're kind of the spot where we are right now, then I think you should consider a Keenan Allen or maybe making a trade for another wide receiver. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going first-round wide receiver next year in the draft. If there's a receiver that's even close to being on top of my board when the Eagles pick. So some interesting things to talk about, no question about it. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. With that said, no training camp tomorrow because the Eagles are having a closed walkthrough. So we will be back live in the morning on Friday and Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. But you'll definitely hear from me one way or the other. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Hey, parents, real quick. What's the one money lesson you wish you learned earlier that you're trying to pass down to your kids? For all of the parents out there with teenagers, we already know you're trying to keep a million different things under control. Believe me, I got 2 teenagers myself. It's tough. Well, guess what? CashApp is here to help. Make sure your teen's money and their spending isn't adding to the craziness. With CashApp card available to teens 13 to 17 with a sponsorship by an eligible parent or a guardian, every transaction triggers a real-time notification for you to see, empowering your teen to practice independence while giving you a peace of mind by keeping track of their spending. You can also manage everything from your own Cash App account without having to switch between the two. It's beautiful. It makes it simple to stay connected to your teen's financial activity in a way that's both efficient and empowering. Now finally, no one, and I mean no one, wants unnecessary surprises. With Cash App, there are no monthly fees, no minimum balance requirements, and no hidden charges when sending or receiving money. With the Cash App card, you and your team's balances receive 24/7 fraud monitoring, and if the card ever gets lost, you have the ability to lock their card right from your phone in just one tap. New Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code FAMILY10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. That's FAMILY10 in the profile and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners, prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Cash App Visa debit flex cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, and the Bancorp Bank NA, pursuant to a license from Visa USA Incorporated. See terms and conditions for Sutton prepaid cards, Sutton debit flex cards, and Bancorp debit flex cards. Savings provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. All right, so day 6 grade for Jalen Hurts. What did Shore Parks give him today? These are so ridiculous, but I can't stop seeing what they are. Day 6, he had grade B+. 6 of 10, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. It was a light practice today. Not a lot going on, really, to be quite honest with you. Jalen came out. He had a couple really nice throws early on. That's the part that I was talking about being surgical. That's what they said to start his opening drive. But Jalen Hurts, I think he's set up for a big year, man. I think he's liking this offense. I think they're buying into it, and I expect him to get better and better. But a grade again, right now, kind of crazy. With that said, Denzel Washington, he's out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.